Thought Cafe presents 7 Signs You Were Emotionally Neglected as a Child. Emotional neglect can leave us with invisible scars that impact our relationships, our self-esteem, and our mental health. It's something that can be hard to recognize and even harder to talk about, but it's important that we shed light on this issue so that we can heal and move forward. In this video, we're going to explore 7 signs that you may have experienced emotional neglect in childhood. If you're someone who has been struggling to make sense of your experiences, or if you're simply curious about the topic, then this video is for you. Number 1. Difficulty identifying your own emotions or the emotions of others. If you had parents or caregivers who were emotionally neglectful during your childhood, you may not have had your emotions validated or responded to appropriately. This can lead to difficulty identifying and understanding your own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. For example, if you grew up in an environment where expressing emotions was discouraged or dismissed, you may have learned to suppress or ignore your feelings. As a result, you may struggle to identify and label your emotions as an adult. You might feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster, experiencing intense emotions that you can't quite put a name to or understand. Also, because you didn't receive emotional validation and support from your caregivers, you may struggle to recognize and respond appropriately to the emotions of others. You may have difficulty empathizing with others or understanding why someone is feeling a certain way. Number 2. Low self-esteem and self-worth. If as a child you were constantly ignored or dismissed when you expressed your emotions or needs, you may have learned to believe that you don't deserve to have your feelings acknowledged or validated. This can lead to feelings of shame or embarrassment about your emotions in your adulthood, and a sense that you're not good enough or worthy of love and care. Also, if you grew up without receiving enough emotional support and attention from your caregivers, you may have developed a sense of self that's based on external validation from others. This can make it difficult to develop a strong sense of self-worth and self-esteem, as you may feel like your worth is dependent on others' approval and acceptance. Number 3. You fear dependency. If you had to learn to be self-reliant and didn't receive enough emotional support and attention from your caregivers, you may have developed a sense that you can't count on others to meet your emotional needs. This can lead to a fear of being dependent on others, as you may worry that they'll let you down or won't be there for you when you need them. Also, if you grew up in an environment where expressing emotions or needs was discouraged, you may have learned to suppress or ignore your own needs and emotions. This can make it difficult to form close relationships, as you may not be comfortable expressing your needs or relying on others for emotional support. Number 4. You feel numb or empty inside. If your parents didn't respond to your emotional needs or validate your feelings, you may have learned to suppress or ignore your emotions as a way of coping. Over time, this can lead to a sense of emotional emptiness or numbness, where you feel like you're just going through the motions of life without truly feeling anything. Also, if you didn't receive enough positive emotional experiences during childhood, such as loving and supportive relationships with caregivers, you may have learned to avoid emotional experiences altogether. This can make it difficult to experience positive emotions like joy, excitement, and love. Number 5. You feel unexplained resentment towards your parents. This resentment towards your parents may be difficult to understand or explain, and may be accompanied by feelings of confusion, guilt, or shame. One possible reason for this resentment is that you may feel that your emotional needs were not met by your parents or caregivers. Emotional neglect can take many forms, such as not providing enough love and affection, failing to validate your emotions or feelings, or not being emotionally available when you needed them. For example, if you were struggling with a difficult situation or emotion as a child, you may have expected your parents to help you navigate it. If they were not emotionally available or responsive, you may feel resentment towards them for not being there for you. Number 6. You have a pattern of unhealthy relationships. Being emotionally neglected as a child can leave you with a sense of feeling unworthy or unlovable in your adulthood. This can cause you to seek out relationships that reinforce these negative beliefs about yourself, such as relationships with people who are emotionally unavailable or abusive. Specifically, you may find that you have a pattern of unhealthy relationships that are characterized by codependency, lack of boundaries, or difficulty with trust and intimacy. Also, If as a child you didn't have healthy role models for communication and conflict resolution, you may struggle with these skills in your own relationships. Number 7. You avoid social situations. When a child's emotional needs are not met, it can lead to feelings of anxiety, insecurity, and low self-esteem, which can impact their ability to socialize with others. If you experienced emotional neglect in childhood, you may have developed a belief that you are not worthy of love or attention from others. This can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness, causing you to withdraw from social situations in order to avoid the discomfort of rejection or disappointment. Another possible reason for avoiding social situations is that you may have missed out on learning important social skills during childhood, such as how to make friends, communicate effectively, or resolve conflicts. This can cause you to feel anxious or overwhelmed in social situations, leading you to avoid them altogether. I hope that this information has been helpful to you and has shed light on some of the struggles that you may have been experiencing. Remember, you are not alone in your experiences and there is help available for you. Whether that means seeking therapy, talking to a trusted friend or family member, or simply taking time to focus on your own self-care, it's important that you prioritize your own healing journey. You deserve to live a happy, healthy, and fulfilling life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.